Welcome back to my channel, fellow gardeners. Today I'm standing here in my garden. It's very, very dry at the moment in Nairobi, but I wanted to show you my ornamental pineapple plant. Now, when I had actually bought this plant, I didn't realize that it was an ornamental pineapple plant. I just planted it, and then suddenly it's all come up. And then the other day I looked at it and I had a pink pineapple. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to learn how to propagate a pink pineapple plant, ornamental. My name is Alice and I'm the Red Soil Gardener. Pineapples are basically universal. In most countries you will find pineapples. In Kenya we actually grow a lot of pineapples, and we have Del Monte, which is a big corporation where they do the slicing, they make fruit juice and they export. Now, the thing about the pink pineapple plant, although people do say it's edible, it is such a beautiful plant. You get all these beautiful strappy leaves, and you do get them in different colors, like this one where actually the flower came out of turned pink just before the pineapple flower and the pineapple fruit actually came into fruition. It did turn pink. The thing is that when I initially did buy this plant, I never realized it was a red pineapple plant until a few months ago. I suddenly saw this stalk. I missed the flower, but suddenly I looked and there was this beautiful red pineapple, reddish pink pineapple plant. I got excited. I did let it develop, and then I got excited, and then I bought it in the house, and I realized that all the pups were actually attached to it at the base of where the pineapple plant was. Here at the base were all these babies, of which I actually added into a succulent mix here for well draining soil, and then basically started propagating. And I was quite shocked when I did get rooting, and I'm actually very happy about it. So these are my propagation of those pups. But what I will do, as I've done here, is once I do get a bit more rooting, I'm going to transfer it into my party cup, which actually has the drainage holes at the back. And then slowly, as they grow, move them into bigger pots and eventually reintroduce it into the garden. Basically, the red pineapple plant, it does like a well draining soil. However, seeing the ones that I do have the base, one doesn't need to water them regularly, except when it does get really, really hot. But then what one can do is you put mulch at the base of the plant in order to conserve that moisture in the soil. And after that, you're good to go. Basically, out there at the base is we do have full sun. It does get afternoon sun, but during the morning it's almost like partial shade. But the plants do look actually quite happy, and hopefully I will get some more pineapple plants, red pineapple fruits from it. So when you do get your first flower and the red pineapple plant does form, it does have this quite a long pink stalk, and then you get the pineapple. Now the thing is that in order to inform you is do stake it up, because a lot of people do make that mistake, is you forget to stake it up, and as the pineapple starts maturing it gets heavy and it could tip over, it could actually break your flower stalk. Now, the lesson I learned from this red pineapple plant is that once it does produce its pineapple plant, is don't rush there as I did and just cut it, bring it in the house, have it as a decoration piece, because basically you do get baby pups forming at the base of the pineapple leaves. But even at the base of the pineapple fruit, you do also get pups. And so by me actually running out and cutting prematurely cutting it, I've had to start from fresh. But if I had left the pups on the pineapple plant long enough, they could have even got bigger and much easier to propagate. Although I am quite thankful that my little pups here are really doing well. Lastly is that as you do get into propagation, these are these lovely little pups, is that do actually leave them out for, let's say, 1 to 3 days and get them to callus, because what I noticed also when I was propagating some of these pups is I put them straight into soil that already had water, and then what happened is it didn't have time. Well, I didn't callus them, but once I did put them in the soil watered, is they did start to rot. So another important thing is that when you do want to actually propagate these, do let them callus 1 to 3 days, get them to seal up, and then afterwards you're good to go when you're propagating and putting them in a soil mix that has water. Once you start a propagation in any of these plants, do make sure that you do put it in bright indirect light as opposed to putting it in full sun. With full sun you won't get a success story. With indirect sun, until the rooting takes place and you get a substantial rooting, is the ideal sort of situation for propagation. So bright indirect light is very important for propagation because it provides the warmth that the roots need for propagation, but at the same time you're not stressing the plant by scorching the leaves. So now what I've also noticed, as I have my plants at the bottom of the garden, and as you saw, these leaves can actually go really wide. I would be very careful where to locate your plants, because initially down there is fine, because unless we're doing gardening down there, you don't get a traffic of many people walking. So when you do get your red ornamental pineapple plant, don't put it along pathways, because as you know, it's so serrated. Look at all those thorns. Is that if you do put it in a pathway, it's going to catch someone's skirt or you will get scratched. So I would actually keep it away from that. The second thing, what I have noticed is that when we do mow the grass and these leaves do fall down, because they do get quite heavy and they do fall down, is that they are an irritant if you're mowing your grass. So if you do want to introduce them into your garden, have them a bit more in the center of your flower bed, so that in the end they don't the leaves don't go over onto the grassy patch, because they will get cut by the lawnmower. So fellow gardeners, here we are. Thank you so much. Do go and inquire about these plants. Hopefully I've given you enough tips, and they are really, really beautiful, and you'll see it from the photos. And don't forget to like, to share, and press that notification button, and do subscribe to our channel, which is really important to us. And don't forget, we are on Instagram. I do post quite a lot there, and I do answer your comments on Instagram, on Facebook comments. And give me your views. Maybe you have grown this plant, and do share with us if you have any other tips. Thank you so much, and have a lovely, lovely day, and happy gardening.